Coronation Street's Theo crosses yet another boundary in disturbing Todd's storyline. Coronation Street antagonist Theo Silverton tightens his grip on Todd Grimshaw's life next week by invading his privacy and opening his personal mail. This unsettling turn follows growing friction between Theo and Todd during the events surrounding Billy Mayhew's funeral. Todd is left seething when Theo pushes him aside and takes over delivering the eulogy at Billy's heartfelt service. Theo then uses the moment to subtly imply that Todd bears responsibility for Billy's death, leaving Todd furious and deeply hurt by his partner's manipulative behavior. After the funeral, Theo seizes another opportunity to reassert his dominance when he discovers a final warning letter from a credit card company addressed to Todd. Waving the notice in his face, an enraged Theo humiliates Todd, who nervously insists that the outstanding payments are under control. Unconvinced by Todd's explanation, Theo escalates the situation by handing him a pair of scissors and ordering him to destroy his credit cards. By stripping Todd of access to his own money, Theo ensures total dependency, a Corrie insider explains. Todd reluctantly goes along with Theo's demand that he only uses cash from now on to prevent what Theo claims is reckless spending. But Theo will control every penny, handing it over sparingly like an allowance, which leaves Todd trapped with no financial independence and no clear way out. With Theo cruelly tearing away Todd's autonomy and Billy no longer there to protect him, Todd's future looks increasingly bleak. Speaking earlier this month, Coronation Street producer Kate Brooks reassured viewers that Todd's situation is not hopeless and that cracks will soon start to show as others notice something is wrong. "This kind of story can't continue indefinitely," Brooks said. "Todd will begin to realize that things aren't as they appear, and people around him will start to see it too." Todd has a strong chosen family, George, who he absolutely loves, along with Summer, Christina, and Gary almost by default. These people will start paying attention to the changes in Todd, recognizing that he's not himself anymore and that he's becoming a fragile shadow of who he once was. The story will explore how they respond, how they come together, and how they carefully and sensitively address a situation like this. Tracy's laugh-out-loud real reason for targeting Coronation Street's Carla, and it's peak Tracy. She's escaped punishment for murder, set fires, and caused chaos by tampering with cars. She's pretended to be pregnant, lied about who fathered her child, and carried on countless affairs. Yet somehow she's also proven oddly useful during minibus disasters, stepping up as an unlikely rescuer not once, but twice. When she isn't saving lives during transport catastrophes, Tracy takes great pleasure in irritating the people around her, and viewers take equal pleasure in watching her do exactly that. Her latest victim is Carla Connor, who's endured a string of hardships recently, to put it mildly. The history between Carla and Tracy is anything but straightforward. That fire mentioned earlier? Tracy set Carla up for it, allowing her to believe she was responsible for the deaths of two people. On the other hand, Tracy also once dragged Carla from the wreckage of a crashed minibus moments before it plunged over a cliff, saving her life. Confusing? Absolutely. This week, Carla has been feeling particularly low after her relationship with Lisa Swain completely unraveled. The much-loved pairing fell apart when Becky Swain shockingly returned from the dead and did everything she could to destroy the relationship in a bid to win Lisa back. Although Becky is now out of the equation and locked up where she belongs, the damage she caused still lingers, leaving Carla and Lisa struggling to move forward. In recent scenes, it looked like Carla was finally ready to clear the air with her former fiancé, until Tracy arrived and promptly spoiled any chance of reconciliation. Subtlety has never been Tracy's strong suit, and her reaction to seeing Carla on the doorstep of number 6 was predictably dramatic. She made it very clear she was appalled by the idea of Carla and Lisa getting back together, declaring that Carla had been reduced to a doormat. Despite warning Tracy to keep her nose out, Carla was visibly affected by the comments, and it was enough to make her reconsider trying to repair things with Lisa. However, fans of the ITV soap have now spotted the true and rather amusing motive behind Tracy's interference, and it turns out it's not just about her love of stirring the pot. In tonight's episode, Lisa turns up with an enormous bouquet of flowers after inviting Carla for lunch at the bistro, determined to put their relationship back on track. And who just happens to run the only flower shop on Coronation Street? None other than Tracy Barlow herself. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, one viewer joked that Tracy's sabotage was all part of a clever plan to boost her florist business. It's completely hilarious, and entirely in character for Tracy. Love her or loathe her, you have to admire her ruthless entrepreneurial spirit. Coronation Street's Sue Devaney admits, "We're not perfect," as Soap Update sparks wave of fan messages. Coronation Street favorite Sue Devaney has told viewers that "we're not perfect," as she posted a heartfelt update during an intense and unsettling period for both herself and her Weatherfield character. Fans of the ITV soap have long cherished Sue for her portrayal of Debbie Webster, a role she first stepped into more than 40 years ago at just 16 years old. Debbie arrived on Coronation Street in 1984 as a rebellious teenager, with Sue, who comes from Ashton-under-Lyne, remaining the only actor to ever play the character, appearing initially between 1984 and 1985 before returning in 2019 and then making a permanent comeback in 2020. Recently, however, viewers have grown increasingly anxious about Debbie's future, after it was announced that Sue will eventually leave the show as part of a hard-hitting health storyline. In episodes broadcast last April, audiences watched Debbie become troubled by worsening memory problems, leading her to seek help at a private clinic after assuming the symptoms might be linked to menopause. Following discussions about several alarming incidents shown in flashbacks, including a blackout and a serious fall, a doctor expressed concern and recommended further testing, warning that Debbie could be showing early signs of vascular dementia. The soap is now charting Debbie's life as she comes to terms with the devastating diagnosis, with Sue previously confirming that her character is expected to remain on screen until at least 2027. However, as viewers are well aware, Debbie is currently staring down the prospect of prison after admitting to dangerous driving and causing the death of Billy Mayhew during the recent catastrophic crash. In a newly released trailer on YouTube, fans see the lasting fallout from the horrific collision, focusing on those still grieving the tragic loss and others desperately trying to keep dark secrets and violent intentions from being uncovered. The promo shows a fragile Debbie awaiting her fate after being charged with causing death by driving while under the influence. Kevin is convinced she's lying and that Carl was actually behind the wheel, but with Debbie determined to protect Carl, now revealed to viewers as her son rather than her brother, it appears her future may involve a lengthy prison sentence. Alongside a newly shared image featuring Debbie, Carl, and Kevin at the center of the promotional shot, Sue took to Instagram to write, "Love my little Telly family. We're not perfect, but we love each other," finishing the message with a series of heart emojis. Coronation Street airs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.